They landed somewhere in the Middle East, and then things began to become strange. Now, they landed somewhere in the Middle East in a relatively short time, were treated as absolute gods. In contrast with the earthly people of that time, they taught their knowledge of the various cultures that existed at the time, sometimes for the benefit of the locals and sometimes for their own benefits. Each earthly civilization that was introduced to them suggested their own way of life, habits and customs, and there was an exchange of knowledge. There were many who disagreed with all this, but they were individuals, foreigners who came from elsewhere and landed there from the skies, contributed to the construction of megalithic and monolithic structures and temples. Those who came from the heavens, the skies, to earth, brought them knowledge, their own knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, medicine, metallurgy, writing, music, poetry, agriculture, animal husbandry, engineering, public administration and government. This is all from also in the book of Enoch, having to do with the fallen angels. So they mingled with the knowledge of the native earthlings, and there was a tremendous rise of humanity, which took place overnight, relatively, as we would say today, as the population of mankind grew and spread even further throughout the planet. The supreme lords of these beings from the stars left behind the descendants who appointed them as leaders or kings in various regions and continents of the earth. Many of the characteristics of the ancient visitors, the ancient aliens, their equipment, their technology were passed on to the arts, customs, and rituals of those earthlings, but they adapted them to their own cultures. The kings, descendants of the heavens, who ruled the people, began to see themselves as gods and thought it would be a good idea to worship them as such. Then at some point they decided to mingle and reproduce with the earthlings, and the male visitors came in contact with the daughters of men. In fact, that until then was forbidden. This is according to Genesis as well. This period, however, was an unfortunate moment for everyone. On the one hand, it was decided to start new trips to other planets. On the other hand, new visitors came with not very good moods, not very good intentions. There was a panic, a war, a flood, everything changed. The first ancient astronauts to arrive on Earth were given much later names such as tall whites, Norwegian gods, Olympian gods, Anunnaki, Pleiades, Lyrians, Syrians, from Sirius, Andromedans, and many more. Things have been very confused since then. The place of landing varies depending on the origin of the delivery. It was said that man was created, that he was used as a slave, that he was set free, that he was exalted, that he was expelled, that he was betrayed, that those who left would return again, things like that. These are all from various ancient texts. And let's remember, recently we found out that around 2400 BC, these sky gods, quote unquote, even landed in China, Korea, and Japan, around the same time that they landed in Egypt. So I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.